5 items on this list are all management, administrative related, and include the city manager, human resources, city attorney and legal costs, other administrative costs. The police expenditure, again, is a contract with the sheriff. That's the $21 million shown. And other services, again, animal control, community development, public works, parks and recreation, we assume would continue as are currently provided by the county. Other non-departmental costs, that last item on this table, include the 5% annual contingency I mentioned. It also includes the repayment to the county over the first 5 years, which again is why that number drops from the 9.2 million shown in year 2 to 3.4 million. It also includes payment for office space that would be required for city employees. As I mentioned, this legislation, SB 89, had a serious impact on the budget that we had prepared. We did put together an analysis just before we issued the report. Revenues, of course, are much lower, $6 to $9 million lower. The expenditures are essentially the same as those that I just described. As a result of these lower revenues, the shortfall in year 2 is about $20 million, and it's a shortfall of $14 million in the 7th year. The initial reserves are less, and they don't last as long. I briefly mentioned the issue of revenue neutrality. I'll talk a bit more about that. State law requires that in the event, in the case of any incorporation, that the county revenue losses that occur must be substantially equal to the county cost reductions or the cost savings, so that in effect there is no net impact on the county. If there is an adverse impact on the county, state law requires that that be mitigated in some fashion in order for cityhood to move forward. However, in the case of East LA, the county cost savings actually exceed the county's revenue losses, revenues that shift to the new city, by about $27.3 million annually. Now, of that $27 million, about $6.4 million of it represents general fund benefits. Another $17 million represents savings from sheriff services. The county will no longer be responsible for funding, which are currently funded through a special restricted revenue source. It's referred to as Prop 172 funding, which again must be used only for public safety, including sheriff protection. But if the city incorporates that money that the county currently uses that is restricted to public safety, can be used elsewhere in the county. So it does represent a net benefit to the county. There will also be county savings in the roads and transit funds. So in conclusion, there is no impact on the county, no need for mitigation as is often seen in the case of other corporations.